Hello to all Cinemaster lovers. Hope you enjoy watching. Let's get started. The movie The Great Wall begins with a group of mercenary warriors wandering in the desert, approaching the borders of the Chinese kingdom. Suddenly, they are attacked by a tribe of gypsies, resulting in a large number of them being killed. The surviving warriors are forced to flee and hide in a cave, and only 4 warriors remain, including William and Tovar, who are the leaders of the mercenary team. During the night, William and Tovar sit and talk, and we discover that they have been on a journey for 3 months, searching for a weapon called black powder, which is so powerful that it can kill 12 people in a single attack. All the warriors were searching for this weapon. In the end, they decide to return to their homeland, where they suspect that the weapon is just a legend, nothing more. And suddenly, a hidden creature attacks them, resulting in the death of 2 warriors. William and Tovar stand back to back to defend themselves. William feels the creature approaching him, so he cuts off his hand and throws it away. After that, they decide to take the creature's hand and quickly leave the cave before other creatures arrive. While they are escaping, the gypsies see them and start chasing them. William and his friend flee towards the Great Wall of China, but suddenly they find themselves facing the Chinese army, which draws their bows at them, forcing them to surrender. The soldiers take them to the army leaders, and there the leaders are shocked when they see the creature's hand. A leader named Lin arrives and asks about the person who killed the creature, and William tells her that he is the one who killed it. He explains to her that the creature was stealthy and killed 2 of his fellow warriors. The commander mocks him and doubts his words, but the military expert confirms his truthfulness as he found the creature's blood on his sword. The leaders realize that William and Tovar are mercenaries, and suddenly, a guard comes to inform the leaders that a whole army of creatures is approaching the Great Wall of China. Commander Zhao orders the imprisonment of William and Tovar, then leaves with the other commanders to prepare the army for battle. At the same time, the military expert William takes his friend to prison. Meanwhile, everyone is surprised by the attack of the creature army on the wall. William and Tovar are taken to the wall to ensure they do not escape. When they arrive there, they are impressed by the strength and number of the Chinese army. The battle begins when the alien army appears and advances rapidly towards the Great Wall of China. Commander Xiao orders the artillery to fire fireballs at them, then orders the battalion of archers to target the creature's eyes, as it is their weak point. Despite that, the number of creatures is very large and they are approaching the wall. The warrior women, led by Lin, descend from the top of the wall using ropes, carrying spears to kill the creatures. Suddenly, the queen of the creatures appears with her guards. The military expert tries to convince the commander to fire the cannons at her. The order is carried out, but the guards protect the queen from the attacks. The creatures continue to climb the wall and attack the soldiers. Meanwhile, William and Tovar are tied up and unable to defend themselves. Another prisoner named Ballard comes to help them, and William manages to grab a spear and kill a creature. William and Tovar begin to fight bravely, catching the attention of Captain Lin, who is impressed by their strength and skill. The queen uses sound waves to issue orders for the creatures to withdraw after losing a large number of her members. After the creatures withdrew, Commander Zhao spoke with William and Tovar, thanking them for their help in the battle. He then decided to release them and provided them with a room to rest with the soldiers. William and Tovar meet the prisoner Ballard, who tells them that he has discovered the black dust they have been searching for years. He shows them a small sample of it and explains his story to them. He tells them that the Chinese leaders captured him, took the dust from him, and imprisoned him for 20 years to teach the English soldiers. Ballard suggests that they steal a large amount of black powder and quickly escape from China because the creatures will return again, posing a danger to their lives. During lunch, William talks to Captain Lin, who asks him about the army he is fighting in. He tells her that he is a mercenary with no allegiance to any country, that he has participated in many wars in Europe, and that he only cares about money. While he was talking, one of the leaders asked him to demonstrate his skill in archery. William throws 2 consecutive darts that hit the target with precision, impressing all the leaders. Later, William and Tovar are summoned to the military advisor, who informs them that the guards found a magnet in their belongings during the search. The advisor explains to them that the magnet weakens the creatures and prevents them from communicating with the queen or sending signals to her. He tells them the story of the creatures that appeared on Earth 900 years ago, attacking humans every 60 years and then disappearing. He explains that the creatures gather food to present it to the queen, as she is responsible for reproduction. If the queen is killed, all the creatures will die with her. The advisor continues speaking and tells them that many warriors have tried to eliminate the queen to end the creatures, but they failed and disappeared without anyone seeing them. The biggest problem is that the number of creatures is increasing very rapidly, and if action is not taken quickly, they will wipe out the entire human race. At night, Commander Xiao noticed that there were soldiers missing on the western side of the wall, so he went to investigate and found them dead. He realized that the monsters were the ones who did it. Suddenly, a monster appeared approaching them, and when he noticed the sword's reflection, he realized that another monster was coming from behind them. The two monsters attacked at the same time, and the captain tried to defend Lin, but unfortunately, he was killed. And before he took his last breath, he handed the command badge to Lin, announcing that she had become the commander of the armies in his place. After that, the leaders gathered to consult, and they received a message from the Emperor of China stating that the monsters had attacked a group of warriors in a cave. But suddenly, the monsters were paralyzed and unable to move. The military advisor concluded that the warriors had magnets with them, just like William, which indicates that the magnets cause paralysis in the monsters. William suggested to them the idea of hunting a monster during the war to test the effect of the magnet on it, and then luring the queen and killing her. The leaders were convinced by the idea and decided to implement it. At the same time, Tovar spoke with William and told him that they should not participate in this war, and instead, they should take advantage of the leaders and soldiers being preoccupied with the battle to steal the black powder and escape. The next day, the military advisor and the soldiers began applying sedatives to the hooks, designated for capturing the monsters, to ensure they were caught alive. And when the battle began, the monsters appeared and a fierce battle broke out. The soldiers managed to capture one monster with great difficulty. At that moment, William decided to return to help them pull the injured beast, but he noticed that the beast was resisting fiercely and that the hook was about to come off his body. William climbed down from the wall to tie the beast himself, and because the fog was covering the place, Captain Lin gave him an arrow with a bell to make a sound in case he needed help. While he was trying to tie up the monster, another monster attacked him, but Tovar intervened and saved him at the last moment. However, they found themselves surrounded by monsters from all directions. They tried to defend themselves with everything they had, and William had to use the arrow that carried the bell. Upon hearing the bell, Lin pinpointed its location and ordered the artillery to fire near it to drive away the monsters. William lost consciousness due to the explosions, but they finally managed to catch the monster and pull it to the wall. When they brought the magnet closer to it, the monster was paralyzed. They confirmed that the magnet was a major weakness for the monsters, and the monster was sent to the royal palace in the Chinese capital. During that time, the soldiers discovered that the monsters were digging a tunnel in the Great Wall of China. At that moment, Tovar and Ballard stole a large amount of black powder and decided to escape from China. William tried to stop them and convince them to abandon the idea of escaping and help the Chinese army in their war against the monsters, but they refused. Ballard threw something from the ceiling at William, causing him to lose consciousness, to ensure he wouldn't interfere with their escape plan. Captain Lin discovers that the monsters have dug a tunnel under the Great Wall of China to reach the Chinese capital with the aim of freeing the monster imprisoned in the emperor's palace. Lin decides to move quickly with the soldiers using the airship to reach the capital before the monsters. When she learns that Tovar and Ballard escaped with the black powder, she gets angry with William, believing he is colluding with them, but he defends himself and insists that he tried to stop them. One of the guards testifies in favor of William, but Lin orders him to be imprisoned in the cell and moves with the soldiers towards the capital. The military advisor later takes William out of the cell and tells him about Lin's plan to eliminate the Monster Queen, because if she is killed, all the monsters will die. William and the military advisor set off in a hot air balloon to catch up with Lin and help her. Lin arrives in the capital and faces the monsters, but she is in danger. William appears at the last moment and saves her, then they both head to the palace together. They tie a large amount of black powder to the body of the imprisoned beast and place a piece of meat with it to make it carry it to the queen. They plan to blow up the black powder on the queen using fire arrows. While they try to get the monster through the tunnel, the monsters attack them and kill some soldiers. One of the soldiers sacrifices himself to keep the monsters away from William and Lin. They continue with their plan, and the monster carries the black dust to the queen. William and Lin climb to a high place and try to hit the monster with fire arrows, but the first attempts fail due to the guards surrounding the queen. At the critical moment, Lin uses a spear equipped with explosives and succeeds in hitting the queen. The queen explodes and dies, taking all the monsters with her, ending their 900-year invasion. After the battle ends, William returns to the Great Wall of China and learns that the soldiers have captured Tovar. William visits his friend in the dungeon, and after the commander's approval, he is released. William and Tovar leave China, happy that they have finally rid themselves of the monsters. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification button to get more new videos.